All right, what an exciting day. I'm gonna try not to make too many puns, maybe just one, because it really is a decent day for an unboxing. If you guys follow me over on Instagram, you will know that I've been teasing the arrival of this really for only a week. Their shipping was incredibly fast. But for Christmas this year, Lifestyle Lab has got a decent espresso machine. This is all my own money. There was no Patreon, there was no discounts from Decent. This is something that I think is really gonna benefit the channel for reasons that I will get into later on, why we bought this machine over some of the others. But I think that this was the right choice for the stuff that we're gonna be doing here in the coming year. So I'm really excited to share this with you already. What an insane unboxing carrying case this is. It's a full-on suitcase. You could take this on vacation with you if you removed all the inserts. Just like last time when we did the unboxing of the Malkonig, I have not peeked inside here. That has been extremely hard. This arrived yesterday. I have not even opened it until I got the opportunity to sit down in front of the camera and open it with you guys. So I can't wait any longer. Let's get into it. I'm gonna move my laptop so that we don't break this. And let's just get inside. Here we go. All right, there she is. Again, this feels so weird. It is a full rolling suitcase. I've been rolling this around my house for the last day or so. All right, inside we have the machine and we've got a lot of different goodies packing it in. So I'll just kind of put these off behind me. As we unbox, we have the portafilter. Here we've got the tablet. We've got the group head handle. I think I'm supposed to be taking all of these out first. Let's take this out here. Oh, that's neat. So the drip tray and the water tank on this are actually made of porcelain. So all of you guys who hate plastic in your machines, plastic in the water tank, glazed porcelain is what they have used. So already veering away quite drastically from a normal espresso machine. As you can see here, that's the water tank. Okay, I think I've got all the little parts out. Here we go. Something I'm noticing right off the bat here on the machine is that the feet are actually suction cupped, which is definitely not something that I was expecting. We'll see if that's something that I like or something I don't like. That's very, very different. Get this in a nice spot for you guys. There we have it. So, as cool as this suitcase is, I will throw this under the table. And here we have the Decent DE1PRO. So I'm gonna take off some of this plastic here. This zip tie is giving me the worst time. We got it. Nobody panic. Okay, there's that one. And finally, something you might notice is we have this mirrored tray along the bottom here. This is actually specifically designed, this reflective portion at the bottom, so that you can look down and see your shots in a bottomless portafilter shot without needing a separate mirror. So most of the back panel is brushed, and then that lip is purposefully mirrored just for that specific purpose. So just kind of a brief idea and getting a glimpse of how well thought out these machines kind of are. Let's slide in the tablet. Here we go. This is the latest version of the Decent machine, so the tablet just slides in on the top, just like that. It's also important to note that you don't need to use this with a tablet. I can see a lot of people getting worried about, oh, my machine is attached to a piece of technology. That is true. Two things. One, any Android tablet can work with this. You just need to load on the software. So it's not going to become obsolete. These guys at Decent are constantly iterating their software. So really, this machine is not going to become obsolete. If your tablet dies before the machine, which it probably honestly will, you can get another tablet, plug it in, load in the software, be right back up and running. Or if you just don't want to use a tablet at all, there are capacitive buttons on the top for all the basic functions. You don't even need the tablet on top once you have it programmed the way you want. Okay, next. Let's do the water tank. Such a strange thing, a porcelain water tank. Next, there's this little lever on the back of the machine that you guys aren't gonna be able to see, but you have to lift that up and then just slide the water tank all the way back. And then that secures it in. So if you were to lift the machine up with the water tank in, it avoids the possibility of it sliding forward and obviously smashing because it is fragile. Next, drip tray, same thing. I think this is unidirectional. So that can just slide on there. Doesn't really fasten on. Actually, nope, it looks like that's the right way. I guess that's it. It just kind of sits. Okay. And we can see what's inside this box too. So in this box, as expected, we got the power cord. I have so much trouble plugging in multiple machines in this studio. So I'm so happy to see a nice sized power cord. And I know that this has some startup procedures it's got to go through. So while we're sitting here, we're gonna flip it on. And we can see the lights are up and it is alive. The Lifestyle Lab Decent comes to life for the first time. Really cool. So what it's actually doing right now is it's doing some delivery checks, some post-delivery checks to make sure it wasn't damaged in shipping, make sure all the pumps are functioning, make sure all the sensors are functioning, which is again, pretty clever. It checks itself when you unpack it at your house. So it's going through that now. While it's doing that, let's look in here. We have the USB cable. Okay. It appears to be happy, and now we can see the red light going around and it's warming up. Pretty cool. So we got a little short cable to connect these in. We have a blind basket, which is always nice. And we have some little tools. There we go. Oh, I guess I need to install this. So this is something that's kind of unique. It's a group handle. Whoops. And all this is doing, it's purely from an ergo perspective. I know a lot of people at home just tend to leave this off. I kind of like the look. And it's when you're locking in the portafilter, you have something else to hold on to. You can even kind of do it one-handed in a bit of a squeezing motion, which is interesting. Let's get the portafilter open. Let's see how this feels. Machines have such a wide range of different portafilter feels. I'm always really excited to unwrap the portafilters when I get a new machine. There we go. There's the portafilter. It feels nice. It is wooden. It is heavy. I'm noticing some tape on that side. I want to get that off. Okay, so while this is heating up, let's talk about the big question that a lot of you guys might be thinking, why this machine? These machines are extremely expensive. You know, I could have gone with something dual boiler, something from Profitec, potentially something from La Marzocco. Not gonna say I was even considering stuff from Slayer. I wasn't, but this is not a cheap machine. So why did I choose to go with a Decent? And that really comes down to a few things. Primary amongst most is that this is a YouTube channel and it's meant for teaching, it's meant for demonstrating, it's meant for experimenting, collaborating. And I think that there is no better machine to do all of those things than the Decent. I'm gonna show you the interface, at least in the full review, probably a little bit now of what this thing is capable of, but the amount of data that it can show you in live time as a shot progresses is absolutely unbelievable. It can show the flow rate, the pressure, the temperature, how much water is going into the puck, how much water is coming out of the puck. You can do true gravimetric shots if you have a Bluetooth scale. There's so many different functionalities on this, and I'm really excited to dive into all of them. Something quickly I want to note before we get into the other reasons I went with this machine is that I got it for 5% off. How did I do that? Well, there is a chip in the paint up on the group here, and there's a chip in the paint down on the leg. So I decided even 5% on a machine this expensive is probably worth jumping on. So I got a slightly, not defective, but just blemished machine to save a few $100s. Because really, I don't have this kind of money to be throwing around. This is an investment in the channel. So reason number 2 that I got this, and I am not joking when I say this, is right behind me. The Flare 58. The shots that I have been pulling on that lever machine, the amount of experimenting I have done, the amount of fun I have had with that machine is a direct reason that I ended up going with a Decent machine. The amount of flexibility and experimentation you can have when you have control over the pressure, over the flow, over the temperature is unbelievable. And then being able to program that in and replicate it at the push of a button, that starts to become worth the asking price, in my case, combined with all those other things that I mentioned before. I think this machine is ready. Let's get the tablet plugged in. I'm gonna come around the side here. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so as you might be able to tell, this is either much later in the same day, or what is actually the case is that this is over 48 hours from when I filmed that first section of the unboxing. And the reason for that is where that video cut off, where I was plugging in the tablet, I very soon after came to discover that my particular tablet was completely dead on arrival. So, although that's very disappointing, these things do happen. It doesn't really tarnish my image of Decent as a brand. I know that they have fantastic customer service, so I'm already in touch with them. We're trying to sort out how to either repair or just get a new tablet into my hands. So, although that kind of puts a bit of a damper on the excitement of this video, let's try to pull a shot of espresso. Let's talk about the steaming power. Let's see a few of the other things that I'm noticing with this machine right off the bat, and then we'll wrap it all up and sign off. So, first things first, let's try to pull a shot. I just turned this back on, and one of the things that I'm noticing is this group head heats up extremely quickly. It is obviously actively heated, and wow, I'm really impressed with that. You've seen a lot of my other videos of different espresso machines. I make the large caveat that it takes X number of minutes to turn on and heat up the water, but you're probably going to want to wait another 10, 15, 20 minutes for the port filter to heat up itself, or run a bunch of blank shots. On this machine, it's borderline probably able to warm itself up in 5-10 minutes just from leaving the port filter in the group. It's really, really impressive. A couple other things worth noting, these are coming with precision IMS filter screens in them, at least the Pro version is, Pro version and up. So that's just a really nice touch. I can see it in the reflective panel there. Let me try to lock this in. Always tough to lock in from behind a machine, but let me try. Especially on a new machine. Not too bad. Again, I don't know what profile is loaded onto this because I don't have the tablet. I'm assuming that one of their more default profiles is on there to start with, but we're gonna find out. This might not be dialed in, but let's just get something running out of this machine because you guys deserve it in this video. So, here we go. One of my big worries was the sound of this. It is quite an odd sound, but I think the technology baked in is kind of worth that sci-fi clicking and ticking. Let's see. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna be looking in the mirror. There we go. We have got some channeling, but not too bad. And I don't know when it's gonna cut it off. That is a long shot. It is still going. Let's just see what it does. Let's just see what it does. We're gonna get a full shot. I'm starting to realize that whatever is baked in here might not have an end point. So, I'm gonna end it. So, obviously whatever profile is in there by default does not have a preset either volumetric endpoint or a timed endpoint. So I've just got a full cup. But we ran some coffee through it, so that's a good start. And there was a little channel right at the beginning. Okay, otherwise, steaming power, let's talk steaming. So this is not a dual boiler. I'm not too worried about that. Something I really haven't shared with you guys yet, but in my time with the Apartamento and the dual boiler, quite often I don't brew and steam at the same time. I normally just brew, and then I'm very happy with having immediate steam on demand, but with this machine, it's pretty much immediate anyways because of the heating system that it uses. Let's check it out. So that's effectively immediate steam. And then it gives you a little auto purge after you're done. So I'm not worried about this not being a dual boiler machine. There's lots of engineering reasons that John has explained as to why Decent did not make this a dual boiler and may never make this a dual boiler. But from a functionality perspective, I'm not too worried. I know that it has good steaming power. I know that it has great steam quality. So that transition time and not being able to brew and steam simultaneously isn't something that I'm super worried about. All right, so we've brewed a very odd coffee because I didn't know it wasn't gonna stop. We've tested the steaming, and unfortunately, I guess at this point, that's as far as we're gonna get with this unboxing. Even still, I hope it was interesting to you guys. I really enjoyed sharing it with you. It was such a unique unboxing, and I am so excited to continue sharing what this machine has to offer in upcoming videos in the new year. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.